in the last week from a recruiting perspective. The Gators grabbed 3 more commits since we recorded last Monday. Kendall Guervil was the first to announce. He is a 4-star. He is ranked as the 134th best player in the country, the number 12 defensive lineman, and the number 14 player in Florida on the On3 industry rankings. He picked Florida over Georgia, Florida State, Texas, Miami, and a number of other schools. Defensive lineman, 6'4", 315 pounds. I'm going to pull up his huddle tape, but while I do that, what are y'all's thoughts on Kendall Gerville? Oh, from Fort Myers High School.
Moves. Big boy, but can move. Really quick. Gets off the line quick. Obviously, fast. I could see him as a 1-gap or a 2-gap kind of player. It's a little bit of the high school size where Jordan probably knows, you get a number in your head. Or coach tells you a number to get in your head, and you're just like, all right, whatever. Krispy Kremes it is. Krispy Kremes. Let me stack that Krispy Kreme inside of a double cheeseburger. We're going to get to that 315. But if you're watching here on YouTube Live, that's a big boy. Moves really quick. We're just, 4 years off of saying that Des Watson moves really good for his size. I think the same thing with Kendall here. We'll have to lose some weight to then gain some, but really, really solid player inside.
Yeah, I like the look of his tape right now. I feel like he jumps out on tape as far as his get off and stuff like that. Obviously, he's a huge guy. Just standing in front of all these high school dudes, you see he's dominant at the point of attack. So I like that about him. And it's like Nick said, as far as size goes, I'm not too worried about that. I have a lot of faith in our strength and conditioning program, and that they'll be able to get him the right nutrition and build his body up the way it's supposed to be and get him looking like an SEC D lineman. So I'm hyped about this one right here.
Yeah, me as well. I mean, we start bleeding on that one. After this commit, Billy pull out the emoji shades with the exclamation point beside it. I've never seen him do that. So we started bleeding a little bit. Defensive tackle was deep in state. We had a nice board of guys that with similar traits, and Texas was giving us all we can handle, pause. But Billy turned the tide. This was a kid also heavily crystal ball and favored to go to Texas. Right before the decision, we started, seeing that trend change a little bit. So shout out to Chapman. Started bleeding what we needed to start the bleeding. But this is a great get. Blue chip guy. You got to keep these guys home. And it's not easy. Texas is heavily invested in the state of Florida, but I don't want to regurgitate all the things that they just said, but a great defensive tackle get.
Yeah, absolutely. 247 has him ranked as the 77th best player in the country on 117. It's at ESPN and Rivals ranking that brings that down to 134 overall. Great guy, great player. I think, Nick, mentioned can play the 1 or the 3 there. I think he's got a great burst. He looks super athletic. I have no doubt that he's going to lose some weight, but he's a mauler. He gets in the backfield and he pursues. He's not the type of guy that if he misses the player in the backfield, he's just going to stop. He's going to go chase him down and everything else. So that's a huge get for the Gators. He's a player that I could see potentially rising in the rankings as well going into next season. I talked to a buddy of mine that does some coaching down there, and they're super high on this kid. They think that he could absolutely be a 5-star at some point this year. So obviously you have to continue to recruit him, but great get for the Florida Gators. The next commitment that the Gators grabbed was defensive back, cornerback, 6'1", 175 pounds from Cocoa High School. That's defensive back CJ Hester. He's a 4-star. He's ranked on 3 as him ranked as the 121st best player. But the industry
Hester decided.
What?
Hester decided. I'm sorry, I missed that.
CJ Hester.
Yeah, I missed that one. Man.
Yeah, you sure did. Yeah, what a weekend.
What a weekend.
What a weekend for you. He committed on July the 3rd. So breaking news for Corey. CJ Hester commits to the Gators. Huge news.
Whoa.
I don't know how I missed
iron,
that, like mentally.
Iron deficiency is how you missed that. We need to get some more iron in your diet.
Do that, dog. No, I got plenty of iron in my life, bro.
I don't know if you do.
That. Now you're a nutritionist all of a sudden, man.
Yes.
But from Cocoa High School, CJ Hester, the 269th player in the On3 industry rankings, which takes into consideration all four of the major sites, even though Rivals doesn't really exist anymore. But the number 24 cornerback and the number 39 player in the country. You go back to Cocoa. That's where CJ Gardner was from, right? That make
Yep, him and Wani
What
Taylor.
am I talking about? I tweeted about this, bro. I was in this weekend was a blur, bro. Everything was a blur, man. Good times.
It was a long weekend.
For sure. 100%.
What are your thoughts on CJ Hester, Corey, since you love him?
Yeah, I think it's Coco's been good to us, man. Kid, just a football player, size, everything that they want at DB, bro. I think he's a guy that could play possibly all three DB spots. He could play corner, star, safety. I'm not sure exactly what they recruited him at, but I like him at all three spots. Athlete, bro. A football player, bro. We'll talk about the Lakeland kid, as you can see right there, like just ball skills on point. I think he can play off man or man. You'll see him play a little off man here, but an athlete, plays both sides of the ball at Cocoa. Was he the receiver or the DB there?
He was the DB. He made himself look like the receiver, though.
Right. What you think, Jordan?
That's a good interception right there.
I think this kid is an absolute steal, man. My former offensive coordinator in high school, Ryan Schneider, is the head coach at Cocoa now. He actually told me that this kid is a really solid dude, smart kid. I think he has a really high GPA, above 4.0, I believe.
Wow.
It's like he's a leader, absolute stud. He compared him to Sam Bruce, not size-wise, but he's just saying as just an athlete, as far as he can do anything on the field and how much he loves football. When he was talking to me about him, he compared him to Sam Bruce and that like he loves ball, he wants to play all the time, and he'll play anywhere and do anything for the team. So I like that. I like this kid, and it's good to know that we got a kid with a good head on their shoulders. But like Coach Nate been doing a good job of that and bringing in good kids that got a good level head and just ready to play ball and ready to win some championships.
Yeah, that last play was really good. Backpedal, flipped his hips, read the play, broke on the pass, broke it up.
He closed fast, bro.
You can just tell it's all natural too. It's nothing not a hit, nothing that he can't really handle as far as it come on the football field.
Who was your OC?
Ryan Schneider at University School. He's a head coach for Cocoa now. He actually was a quarterback at UCF at one point. I don't know how many years ago, what class he was in at UCF, but he was a pretty well-known quarterback at UCF at his time and playing that.
Ain't gonna lie, when I watch his tape, like the big gap, you can tell a lot of it just based off of projections, because I look at his tape and I look at CJ Brodenau tape, and I don't know how they get that big gap outside of the track, speed and all that type of stuff, and other tracks that evaluate him high, made for the NFL, or like his ceiling is probably higher. But when you cut the tape on, like this kid is just a natural DB, on ball, off ball. He can do it all, close, physicality and tackling. He
looks like he's got great hips. I mean, I know this is a highlight film, right? So we got to always, exercise some caution that this is going to be probably 40 plays from an entire season, but he looks to have great hips, and he seems to know when the ball's in the air and be able to make a read and reaction very quickly. And his hands always seem to be up, making an impact, whether it's obviously, again, I know it's a highlight film, but
that was
good closing speed too.
That's just instinct right there. I don't know what
that wasn't even his assignment right there.
Maybe everybody said maybe was cover 3 and he's supposed to drop back like that.
No, that was 2.
What the safety was doing. Okay, that's what I was thinking. Yeah, this more like a cover 3 right here. He just doing his job.
Yeah.
Looks like they live in cover 3, to be honest.
Most high schools do.
Yeah, 3, 4. Man.
Yeah. Simple stuff. So CJ Hester commits to the Gators. Glad we can break that news for you, Corey, today. And finally,
broke twice for me. Why
And
just text me,
finally,
bro? You celebrated that. I was like, oh my, I did.
and finally, today the Gators go into Lakeland and land linebacker Malik Morris, 6'1", 225 pounds, Lakeland High School, the number 209 overall player on the On3 industry rankings, the number 13 linebacker in the country, and the number 30 player in the state of Florida. I'll tell you what, man. You know, we're going to talk a little bit about him, but linebacker recruiting for the last couple of years has just been kind of exactly what you expect linebacker recruiting at the University of Florida to be. So I'll let you guys break down Malik Morris here while I pull up the huddle here.
Yeah, I think it was a really solid get, man. I feel like I ain't trying to say like Lakeland is all hell or anything, but most dudes out of Lakeland are dogs, and they really are good at ball overall. So I feel like we got a really good get with this guy, 4-star commit. Really can't go wrong. He's real physical at the point of attack. And yeah, I feel like he's showing speed sideline to sideline. Like you really can't beat that. And he loves ball, and he wants to be on a winning type of team, and he has a winning mentality because he went to Lakeland.
If Lakeland is like when I was there, PE magnet school, it looks like he's getting straight A's. 6'1", 225. But I think the thing that sticks out the most with him is probably his instincts. Just knows where to be, and then has the athletic ability, God-given ability to get there. But looking at a picture of this kid doesn't look like it doesn't even look like a freshman in college. Certainly doesn't look like he should be in high school. But he's physical, old school middle linebacker.
Look at that green dog. Love that. Work, go find somewhere. Go blitz and set that quarterback. Probably had the running back manned up there. Running back stays in. He goes and hunt. I like to see that. Don't just sit there. And you don't even want to know if my coach used to call that when you just sitting there doing nothing. It's a PG show, so I'm gonna leave it at that. Don't sit there and do nothing.
He doesn't still play running back, right?
Call that the
I
Darius
love
Lemons.
a linebacker that play running back. I love a linebacker that just play running back. He played running back and got some big runs for Lakeland. Actually, Ahmad put a clip out of his very first Lakeland practice tackling as a true freshman. He ran over some senior starting linebacker from the running back position, but very physical kid. I want to see what he looks like in shape. I'm not saying he's in terrible shape, but he's definitely heavy. So he's put on some weight right now. I think he missed spring ball because of some type of injury. So he's a little heavier than with Florida or any program would like him. Look at that, bro. Like that running back. Like, give him a couple totes. Give him a couple totes, man.
That's nuts, dude. I think
Go ahead, Dan.
I was just gonna say I can't imagine being like some random Polk County school and you have to line up against this kid on both sides of the field.
Nice.
This looks like Jordan Scarlett's highlight tape.
I ain't 6'1", 250. I ain't 6'1", 250 running that shit's a little bit different. Okay, so
legit moving, man.
You're from another school and got to line up against somebody 6'1", 250 that probably just lined you up on defense. Now he about to tote the rock and probably run you over. Yeah.
I'm forgetting so we played my junior year. I'm forgetting the name of the team we played down in Broward. There's a private school too, but they had this big running back. No, it wasn't. It was
American Heritage Delray.
Nah, it'll come back to me. It'll come back to me. But we were playing them, and they had this big running back, and they were singing "The wheels on the bus go round and round" every time they was about to hand the ball off to him. And there's nothing we can do about it, bro. Like it was crazy. Coach is screaming on the side, like, you know what they're doing. I'm like, bro, he's like 6'3", 2'4", like Brandon Jacobs back there. But there's two linebackers we got in that room now between Miles Graham and him. Both play running backs, and they both have great like instincts. Like you know what holes are gonna open. You know tendencies the offensive line a little bit better. You know when you play the position. So they got traits. They got things that they want to get out of players, or they're looking for an evaluation process. But linebackers, since they got in here, they haven't missed. They've landed good linebackers every single cycle. So that room's loaded.
For sure. You got to love it when you see a dude get a punt block. Y'all don't think it's much. It's a lot of dudes on that field that are scared to block a punt. You
I would
put
be
them
scared
in
to
that
block a punt.
position, the hands will get tucked. They get real dinosaur-like. They're not really trying to get that finger kick. You know he a dog when he ain't scared to block a punt.
I got to tell you a story. I broke my arm in 4th grade, and then I got my cast off. And the next day at recess, we were playing football, and we were playing probably like 500 or whatever it was. And I tipped the ball and it broke my finger like the very next day. You know what I mean? Like and that was in 4th grade, right? You know what I mean? So I can't imagine running full speed, throwing your hands up in the air. And
I'm telling you,
if my son came home the day after we take his cast off with a broke finger, bro, like,
well, I gotta tell you a story. My mom told me this, so she wouldn't mind. If you go in with broken bones within like a consecutive amount of time, they have to have the parent leave and ask, like, what happened? I'm like, no, I'm just an idiot, right? Like, I'm just an absolute idiot. And I was not supposed to be playing football, but I hadn't played in like 6 weeks or playing anything outside. You know, it's like in 4th grade. So
yeah, you don't care about nothing.
My poor parents,
headlocks, bro.
No headlocks from Chuck and Danette this time, but oh man, I appreciate them. Sorry I did that. All right,
bro. We got to get this kid a couple carries. I'm sorry, bro. Like,
I'm for real.
We got to give him a couple carries.
Well, put him at fullback, let him block for a second, and just sneak him a little handoff.
I'm telling you, he coming down here with bad intentions, brother.
I'm trying to tell you.
So that puts the Gators right now at the number 13 overall recruitment class. They have 16 total commits, 10 4 stars, 6 3 stars. They are right behind Florida State, who has 22 commits. So I would imagine at that next, the next commitment, Florida will jump ahead of them. Then it's Clemson, then Miami at 10. Florida right now would be USC's got the number 1 recruiting class. Did not know that. So 1, 2, 3, 4. They're 5th in the SEC right now for recruiting. So again, Florida Gators 13th on the On3 rankings with a class average of 89.99, which is one of the top in the country. I think that's in the top 8 or 9 in the country, top 10. So Gators 16 total commits, 13th overall class. And I do not think that they are done. And I think that we can expect to see some more recruitment. Let's run through
Billy in the building, baby. You know the vibes.
The Gators did also lose 3-star defensive lineman Jir Perez, who said that he wanted to leave Ohio, and he wasn't interested in going to Ohio State. He said he wanted to play in the SEC. Then Ohio State offered him and chased him, and he decided that he now wanted to go to Ohio State. So that happened. So the Gators will be waiting on July 12th. 5-star tight end Caden Prothrow, 4-star tight end Hees Kent, and 4-star linebacker DQ Forkpaw are committing on July 12th. August 22nd, Braylon Womack. So those are some names that you could potentially see in the near future, as well as Valden Sohn. So a lot of names, a lot of recruitment that's still going to happen over the next couple of months before the season starts. Any final comments on recruiting before we move on?
No. Hey, hit like, subscribe. Yeah. If you're on Twitter, hit retweet. We'll appreciate everybody for hanging out with us, man.
Yeah, absolutely. We can see who retweets live in the show, and we'll give you a quick shout out. Tim Tebow's a father. Pretty neat.
Girl dad.
Congrats.
Girl dad. Really cool name too. Where is it? Hold on. I just had it pulled up and then I lost it, but it's just like a badass name. The name is Daphne Rain.
I was expecting something biblical for some reason.
Yeah, no,
Listen. Tim is deep in the Bible. That Daphne Rain might have been mentioned somewhere in Ecclesiastes.
Daphne Rain. Daphne is a biblical name.
It is.
I think Corey was looking more for an Esther.
Yeah.
You know, a Ruth. Mary,
Ruth for the really hit.
Magdalene.
Where's Daphne in the Bible? I'm like,
I don't listen. I don't know. I'm just saying, as much as Tim has read it, like I would not be surprised if Tim was like, actually, she is.
Beautiful name, by the way. Congrats.
Yeah, I got you.
Congrats, Tim.
Congrats.
Beautiful name. You know, blessings, bro.
Genesis 11 verses 1 through 9 in the story of the Tower of Babel.
Okay.
Yeah. So shout out to Coral Baptist Church, now Church by the Glades, for that education years ago that had that that
He just Googled it.
Yeah, no, Google.
I knew it was in the Bible before. I just didn't remember. I just know the name Daphne. Anyway, we don't need to get into the religious talk today. So congratulations to Tim Tebow and Miss Universe Demi, I think is her name.
Yeah, Demi is her name.
Demi's
Tim,
her name.
Demi, and Daphne.
He really doesn't seem to be missing at any part of his life right now. So congratulations to Tim Tebow. Well deserved. Congratulations. All right, let's get into a quick ad read. Let's go visit our friends over at Home Field Apparel. Use promo code Stadium and Gale at checkout. Had a friend of mine the other day tell me he's not a Florida fan. He's a fan of a school that exists out west. But he used our promo code so that he could get a discount, and we appreciate that. So go visit homefieldapparel.com. Use promo code Stadium and Gale. Over 100 different colleges and the Indianapolis Colts. They've got the baseball starter or the baseball pullover. They got the starter jacket. They've got the corduroy hat. They've got all sorts of shirts. I think they have 6 pages worth of Gator stuff. So go check out homefieldapparel.com. Use promo code Stadium and Gale, all one word, at checkout. Ben Shelton today advanced at Wimbledon. So he's had quarterfinals. I made some money on Ben Shelton the other day. So I appreciate that. And
that's crazy. Isn't like tennis a sport where if you're elite like that, you don't even go to college?
I think yeah, there's a lot of young players that don't go.
So like for a player to go from college to, I think he's top 10 in the ATP now.
It wouldn't surprise me. He's done really well. His dad was the head coach of the Gators tennis team. He left to go be Ben's full-time coach as well. So Ben Shelton
is number 10 overall in the ATP.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. Well, congratulations to him, and best of luck in the quarterfinal round in Wimbledon. All right, Nick, I'm pulling up. You got the chance to play.
Real quick. That's I don't know if you mentioned Kevin Ford.
I didn't.
Feel good there. Feel real good there.
Built Ford tough.
He is in
top 100 type. You get right there, brother.
Yeah, Kevin Ford, KJ Ford, Duncanville High School, Duncanville, Texas. Prayers to those in Kerrville, Texas. 93. He's ranked 93 on 247 in the composite. He's a 116th overall player in the country, number 15 edge, the number 17 player in Texas. He's looking between Florida, Ohio State, Texas A&M as the final. He visited Florida on June 6th. So that commitment is this week. If the Gators can grab him, just another elite grab by the Florida Gators on the defensive trenches there. Nick, you got the chance to play the NC